So again, this is a high-end housing plot. You don't start the game here. You're going to start with something much simpler, but I think this shows a lot of the potential of what players can create. As I was saying, this was made by one of our community members, Kira Kiwa, and all the objects we see here are hand-placed by the player. So we'll switch into placement mode for a second. Everything's placed. She watered all these flowers. There must be like 200, 300, 400 flowers. I don't know. And I would generally say like a house of this complexity that we're seeing here is at least 100 hours of just decorating.
I was going to say, up at the upper limit almost of the decor.
Yeah, she's right at the line.
Yeah.
So we are working on trying to expand that. We know players really want more opportunities to add even more items to their housing plot. But anyways, there's a ton of flexibility in our housing system. One of my favorite things is, all these things are placed, but then also we give some really quick and easy modification tools. Sorry, Kira, we're gonna destroy your house a little bit.
We'll put it back.
We'll put it back later. But you can quickly move things around and adjust to your heart's content.
I was gonna say, so I'm a big Sims player, and so seeing you just grab things and having all the clutter, or at least in Sims terminology is referred to as clutter, right? But it's the fact that I'm not having to input a cheat and putting something on a counter, putting it on the counter, taking the counter away is blowing my mind.
I will say our players do some of those tricks.
Oh, they do?
The high-end folks definitely will break our systems and find ways to do things we never intended with it. I did choose a more normal house for these demos.
Right, but even then, everything still looks like it's intentionally placed, but there's a lot of flexibility there compared to, sorry, Sims taking strays here, but
a lot of options. And
a lot of options.
Of course, she's like in this plot, she's showing off some of these items. Like our players really love plushies, and in Palia, plushies are sort of this high-end, like epic drop, like you'd see in MMOs. So hard to get, and of course, she has scattered a ton of plushies all over this place. So she's played an insane amount.
I was gonna say, you kind of said hundreds of hours just to grab everything.
Oh,
to
easily,
place it.
easily. And she's not only that, but one of the things we have. As you progress through the game, you can also unlock multiple housing slots.
Ooh.
So she's got a number here that we could dive into, and we might look at the Queen's Hive in a moment. That's one that she did a lot of glitching on, and so you can see some of the craziness that players create. But our housing system, as I said, you start with a starter house, but as you get later in the game, you'll unlock new houses that you can buy or new room additions. And you can always modify these really quickly if you want to change, say, I don't want a door here, I want an open wall, I can swap it over. Of course, she had decorated the wall, so got to send the stuff back to storage. And here you go, look at it, it's open now. So yeah, really, really fast and easy to modify everything. So that's where we see players spend a ton of time.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a little bit of cooking.
Okay.
To show this skill off in the game. We're going to make some steak dinner because we want to have some food before we go on our adventure to Elderwood.
Of course, important to eat before you do anything.
Yeah, fill that stomach up.
Yeah.
Our cooking is what I would consider like the best example of one of our core principles. Everything you do in the game, we want to be, good by yourself, but better together. And so our cooking minigame has a number of stations players can play at. But if you've got some friends, you can have them come join you at your housing plot, and each of you can take a station and
just do,
and work together to complete the dish, and everyone gets the same full amount of rewards at the end of it. So
that's great.
We've seen our players take this to the nth degree. They do this thing called cake parties, where they'll get like 20 plus people on a housing plot and make these mega kitchens where everyone has their own station, and then they all just bake cakes together, and they'll make like 100 plus cakes and then sell them, and it's by far the best way to make money.
Yeah.
But like it takes some serious organization effort to go do that.
Great British Bake Off, eat your heart out.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I failed to. I'm not paying attention. I failed to flip the steak. That's all right. We'll get a good sear on it.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be good. It'll be good.
All right, let's grab that bread.
So how, for example, if I didn't want to make something quite this intricate, I assume there is much much simpler
Yeah, this one
to get through, or this has better effects because it's more involved?
This is I choose it because we get to check out each of the stations. It's probably like a mid-tier dish. There's some simpler ones that are more like, hey, just chop the ingredient, submit it, and there it is. Or the cakes, which have like 20 plus steps to it that people go with. And of course, like all of our food, if you're able to get a star quality one, which depends on the ingredients you submit and how good you are at the minigame, you can place them all around your house and make these lavish food displays.
Can you eat them?
I mean, you can definitely pick it up and then we'll eat it here. There we go. Let's fill up. Good stuff. All right. Let's head out this way.
Go outside.
So, of course, you can't be a life sim game without gardening. And of course, we have our own garden system. Our garden system really focuses on a little more strategic component to it. So each of the crops will give buffs to nearby crops. And so our players will make all sorts of like diagrams and try to like figure out what the best optimization is.
I was going to say, someone has a cork board with red string.
They've literally built tools, some of our players, online tools that you can like map out your garden, and then it will tell you like how much money you could be making per day, and
oh my god, min-maxing.
So, it's impressive what they've pulled off. So,
what's your main mode of communication between your players? Is it analyzing in-game what they're doing? Is it Discord? I mean, what's that dialogue like?
So we have a very active Discord. We've got over 350,000 players in our Discord. That was one of the things that even really early on we focused on, is setting that community up and helping it blossom. Yeah, and so we are regularly on there, engaging, reading comments, and working with. We have a program called the SHEP program, or a creator program, to understand how the community is feeling about latest updates in the game. So just briefly, here's the more glitch plot, where she's doing all sorts of stuff. It's a beautiful, like, I don't know, bee flower garden, scaled up version. Placing things in the sky. She's using curtains to make flowers, all sorts of weird.
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a really interesting option, but some crazy stuff here. One of our favorites was like, we launched a feature called Home Tours, so you can share your plot out to other players that can come by and then vote on your plot. And if you get enough votes, you get some rewards. But the first week we launched it, the number one thing immediately was someone made Jurassic Park with the T-Rex like popping through, and I was like, okay, that's not what we expected, but that's amazing.
Kind of reminds me of, in Dreams, Little Big Planet, those user-generated levels that would be uploaded and people would just adore and work on. And
we have a patch coming out next week. And in that patch, we are releasing some more interactive decor. So things like jump pads and timers. So we want to try to encourage the community to make a little more interactive experiences. I'm going to head out this back entrance so we can head towards Elderwood and talk about the new stuff. Hopefully matchmaking is all working here. Great, okay, good. This area, this is a map we already had launched, but there's a door here that our players have consistently been wondering, what is this door for?
Oh wait, how long has the door been there?
Oh, since we launched. So now the door is opening. And players are going to get a chance to head through it into the Elderwood.
So what is this multiplayer-wise at the moment? Are you in a server by yourself? Are there other people, other players that you'll be able to interact with?
Yeah, so we are a persistent online game, and so you naturally matchmake into these servers. You'll see players running around freely. You're free to join up with them. All of our skills are built around the idea, as I said, like good solo but better together, where as long as you participate, you get the full rewards. So don't worry about it. Just join in, help them. Mine that rock or chop a tree. You all get in on the rewards. If you hunt, we're even pretty generous in that. And that even if you miss, we count it for you. So if that's not necessarily your strong suit, it's fine. We'll help you out.
What's your approach to tackling people who grief? Can you grief, I guess?
So we've really tried to design a game where griefing isn't much of a possibility.
Yeah.
We do talk about that all the time when we're thinking of new features is how could you use this in a way to like annoy someone? And of course we have some team members that are like trying to role play that and see if we can annoy each other. But for the most part, because of how we've set up the systems, you can't really like steal someone's stuff. You know, they're gonna get their own loot out of it. And so it's a very friendly atmosphere. And you know, we cultivated that in our Discord community, and we constantly hear from players who come into the game, like, Palia's community is the nicest community we've ever been in. That's not a challenge to change it. We really like the nicety.
Yeah, please remain nice.
But the players are so helpful, and they always talk about how other players help them out and guide them, and if you're stuck or confused, you know, they'll help you out. This is our character, one of our characters, Nio. The game has...
It's calling you babe there.
So we're dating Nio right now.
Going steady.
There's going to be a little friendly with us. You can romance several of our NPCs. You can friend all of them. There's more than 20 available in the game. So let's see here. I'm looking for anything suspicious.
Except for all the suspicious stuff.
Yep, lots of suspicious stuff.
Okay. So name dropping Elderwood.
Yep, we have entered the Elderwood, and he's trying to rebuild the stables so that the village can head in here more safely. Now, one of the things that with the launch of Elderwood, it's going to be available for all players right from the get-go, even if you haven't progressed the main story all the way.
Great.
Some of the new systems in Elderwood, though, do require you to go through the main story and catch up. But again, if you're not quite there, you can still jump right in and engage with a lot of the new materials.
So what are those new systems that we can expect?
So one of the marquee things we've got is this artifact and relic system. As you explore the Elderwood, you're going to unearth these artifacts hidden around the map. And if you complete a set of artifacts, you can acquire a relic.
Right.
Relics are a new piece of equipment that give you a buff, but also your party a buff.
And so it's in everyone's interest to...
Yes, and so there's multiple relics and each person can equip their own. So if you're playing with friends, you want to try to like each pick your own, and then everyone gets all of the benefits to maximize kind of what you can do in Elderwood.
Right.
So let's flirt with now really fast. Just
Oh. Well, you got a fertilizer though.
I got some poop.
I mean,
that's nice. All right, thanks.
How many levels to friendship and romance are there? Because we're 4 and 4 here.
So most of the NPCs have 4 friendship levels. The ones that are romanceable have 4 romance levels in addition. There are a few of our characters that we've done a level 5 quest with, and usually when we've done that, we combine them together. So you kind of need a couple of the characters together to connect their storylines.
Oh, I love, yeah. Okay.
So this guy actually right here, over here, this is one of our new insects. We call him the rock hopper. He is a derpy looking frog.
What's he got?
I personally love to collect him because if you get star quality, you can place them on your plot. I want to make a wall of frogs.
I mean, I believe in you. I think.
So you see some of these magical effects coming in. With Elderwood, what we really wanted to do was start to bring the magic to the forefront of the game.
Yeah.
Up until now, the game's been pretty grounded in more realistic touch points. But now's the time where we're getting more magical with large overgrown trees and this lush forest that you're going to explore.
I mean, is there is that something that you're looking at down the line to make things even more magical, or is it just...
Oh yeah, magic has been an undercurrent of the whole story of the game up until now, and we've always wanted to bring more of that into play and allow us to kind of break from the more realistic touch points. So, all right, let's head into the stables here. Oh, shadows.
Yeah. Shadows, a chill, growing sense of wrongness.
Yeah, this zone, we're definitely going for a little bit darker, more mysterious vibe.
I actually would like this as kind of like a narrative device, like reading a book, reading a magical story, and putting yourself in it.
Totally. All right, so these are the central stables. It's kind of the hub of the map. Those artifacts and relics I was talking about, you bring them back here and you can craft the relics and submit your artifacts. You can also trade. Over here we've got some trading kiosks, so if you're trying to get a very specific artifact, maybe you can find another player that's got it for you. And in our playtest, it's been great to see, like, there's always a couple people hanging out in the stables here, and it's a good spot to, like, try to meet up or group up before you go adventure elsewhere in the map. So even though Niall's the only one, as we progress through the story, some of the other villagers are going to start showing up in the Elderwood, and all of our villagers have schedules that sort of change depending on how you get through the game. But we're finally excited to, later on, Sabira, who has been locked away for a while, is finally coming out and going to be part of the world.
So when you say schedules, is that based on real-time clock, in-game?
In-game clocks, yeah. So every villager has a schedule based on the in-game clock. In our world, a Palia day equates to 1 hour of real time.
Right.
So you're able to, you know, if you're trying to fish something at midnight, well, another hour you can
wait for a bit.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
I think you helped me look for him. Okay, so we're gonna try to look for a boy that Nio has, you know, encountered before. This boy may or may not be our new NPC.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
Awesome. Let's go out the south entrance. We'll show a little more of the deep woods part of Elderwood. So Elderwood, it lives on, as we're saying, it lives on the upper end of our progression. So if you're just starting the game, I don't advise you to go straight to Elderwood.
Yeah.
You can, but
you might
probably
have some issues.
Yeah, you'll probably want to like get some higher tier tools before you try to do this. All right, let's go wander over here through the bushes. So this area I really like because it shows some of what we're doing differently in the map. The team really wanted to push a larger sense of scale. And so we've really made these like big overgrown trees that players can climb up, and there's these bouncy mushrooms. We'll be able to hop around in this space more and glide down, and it sort of like creates almost like a jungle gym like experience as you traverse around it.
Like the nice verticality and mixing up how you get around can really just add to the fun of it, instead of you just like, oh, I'm just gonna run.
Exactly.
Cool, I'm just running here for the next 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. We're really excited that we've tried to add some more of those, more things along the way as you just wander around the maps to make it more interesting. Trying to see if I can find one of our new hunting creatures. Look at more frogs. Let's grab that guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, 'cause, like your eyes caught by the creatures that are around. Yeah, you need them. You need them for your walls.
Oh, I missed. That was terrible. Where's our hunting creatures? They all ran away.
They all ran away. They knew you were coming.
Yeah.
They heard tales of GDC Demo 4.
All right, I'm not gonna go that way. So we also have all new fish, including a couple new fish types in Elderwood. I'm not sure what players are gonna like more. There's a shark that you can get, but I'm gonna warn people that the shark is very hard to catch. He's a mean one, but they look amazing in your plot. So we also have a jellyfish-like creature, which can be cool because it glows, and so our players are already doing that with another bug. They would use these ladybugs that glow at night. And make all sorts of like interesting designs with the different colored bugs. So I'm curious what they're going to do with the floatfish.
I was going to say another core pillar of cozy games here, fishing.
Yep, fishing, of course. And yeah, players who have exhausted a lot of the fishing content today. Oh, this is a rare one. Hold on, I definitely need this guy. Oh shoot, he's going to be hard to catch. So there's all new fish for them to go collect and finish out their set. Oh man.
This guy does not want to.
Jesus. Come on.
Come on. You're going on the wall.
We'll get this guy. There we go. All right. Wonderful.
Nice.
Epic. Wonderful.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
One of a kind in the map right now.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. Lucky to find him. Yeah. Okay, let's head over towards, we'll go up to these caves. I don't know where the hunting creatures were at. They seem to have all scattered.
But you found that guy, so.
I did. Yeah. That was worth it for the detour. I am totally not doing the quest right now. I'm ignoring the quest entirely.
But I kind of love that when you just, catch something that just takes your eye off the beaten path.
100% how I play. I know a number of our players do it too. It's like constant distraction of, oh wait, I want to go get that.
Yep.
And I'll stop and get this thing.
Yep. And that reminds me, I should do that.
Yeah. Oh wait, wasn't I doing a quest? Yeah, we get that experience all the time. All right, so this area houses one of our new hunting creatures. He's a little tricky one. Oh, hey.
This little guy?
This little guy.
What?
This one. Oh. This is the Schmoll. He is sort of inspired the team to create like a multiplayer whack-a-mole-like experience. So around the map, you're going to find these networks of holes.
Oh, there he is.
This guy, unfortunately, is infected, and I don't have the stuff to deal with that right now.
Wait, he's infected, did you say?
Yeah, so that magical essence is seeping into everything in the zone.
Right.
Oh shoot, I didn't get him.
Almost.
There's that one.
Oh, there's, this guy.
That's the
infected one.
Yeah. So as you progress through the main story, let's see if he's over here. Oh, wait, there he is. Oh, I can't. All right, let's just pro snipe him.
Oh, yeah.
There
you go. That was a different one.
That was a different one. Where'd the guy go? If you're with a party, this can be great because you can sort of like position each other in different spots and spawn camp him as he comes out. There we go. There we go.
There's no shame in that.
We got him.
All right.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
We are in dev, so there's a couple missing icons here or there. All right, let's head out this way. I totally forgot to get the quest objectives, but...
Hey, it's fine.
Oh, here he is. This is the Ogapu, another one of our new hunting creatures. He's also a mean one. This is the first time we have hunting creatures that hit back. These guys will spit at you and slow you down. Hey, buddy.
There we go.
And if you don't get them fast enough, they like to run to the water and try to dive away.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get this guy. Oh yeah, he's out of it. Oh, buddy, come here. Uh-oh, wait. Oh,
there he is.
What?
There.
Yeah, we got a little bit of issues.
There you go.
All right. Awesome. Let's see, what else to talk to you? This is one of the zones. It's a little bit more inspired by a bog, as you can tell.
Yeah.
In the map, for players who are really into the world of Palia, up until now, players have been in what we call like the Palian Republic. This area is owned by a faction called the Umbran, and the new NPC also happens to be the first Umbran character we meet. They're a group that is more welcoming of magic, which is why they've picked the Elderwood as their place. But unfortunately, you can see there's a lot of destruction going on. Things are not quite put together. Unfortunately, the Umbran were attacked about 30 years beforehand and have sort of left this place. Now, we don't quite know why yet, but as players keep playing, they'll start to uncover that story and what happened here.
I mean, how story heavy, being an online game like this, you kind of want to have that balance of something to pull people through, but also give them the freedom to create their own stories. So how heavy is that hand, I suppose?
We have a couple different storylines that players progress through. The one that you start off on as a player is really about becoming part of the community and joining the village with the NPCs. And so you're sort of establishing yourself and what you can do for the group and building that house. And this sort of extends our other main storyline, which goes through the world and explores sort of how magic disappeared and is now coming back, and what happened to humanity prior to this. Why are humans starting to reappear in the world? And so you've got those options to go do the different storylines. In terms of like players being able to do their own stuff, we definitely want to support players to role play or create their own sort of like hangouts or activities.
Bake sales.
Bake sales. One thing we see is like we have a mini game called Hot Pot that our players will play for like hours on end. It's like a 4-player Go Fish-like experience. But they go hang out in the night market, and then we'll play hot pot, and we try to provide a number of like those side activities or mini games for players.
Yeah.
I was mentioning players finding artifacts across the map. Players can find these offering statues for Umbran. They're sort of your way into some of the artifacts, so you'll be able to find some artifacts out in the map that way. Otherwise, there's rummage piles and some of the quests. I'm sorry, another frog. I gotta get the frog.
Yeah, you gotta get it. Go.
Awesome.
Flamehorned.
Flamehorned.
How many different varieties are there?
There are 3 different frogs right now. And all of our hunting creatures you probably saw earlier, they also have a few varieties to each one. The highest tier tends to have a unique magical ability that it can do. So like the Shmoll, he will cast a protection spell and you'll see sort of these barriers that prevent your arrows from hitting.
Gotcha.
So one new thing we're doing here in terms of the furniture sets you acquire, we've hidden one of the furniture sets all around the map, and as players explore, they're going to be able to find these pieces of the set, and we're going to wrap it where there's this pixie that wants this infected essence that you're finding, and you provide it, and as a trade, they'll teach you the recipe for the decor piece. And so you can get an entire decor set just by exploring the map.
Yeah, I was going to say something that incentivizes you to leave your house.
Yes.
Every once in a while, which all gamers need, I suppose.
For returning players too, one thing they've constantly wanted is a way to more quickly travel from their home to places. In the Elderwood, if you unlock all the stables locations, you're going to get an opportunity to be able to build your own stable sign at your home, so you can just quickly fast travel to different spots.
And that's just within Elderwood?
You have to find the ones in Elderwood, but the sign you get will be for all zones in the game. So it's a big quality of life upgrade for players that are constantly going in and out of their house to do stuff. So we completely avoided the quest, but we'll head back towards the stables.
We've got to find that lost boy.
Spoiler, you don't find him right now.
Oh, no.
You find no evidence of him, unfortunately. Which is also a little worrisome for Niall.
Yeah, for a little lost kid.
He was hoping you would find some kind of hint, but the slime is...
Oh yeah, slowing you down.
So, of course, as you progress, you'll find ways to deal with that. Something our players have always wanted is one of our characters sort of hints at being a potion maker. And she's finally going to open up some of her wares for people.
Interesting.
Which will give you some unique bonuses across the map or in your play.
So when you're collecting things, do you have an inventory limit, or do things get sent back? How do you kind of keep a little friction, but maybe encourage people to still collect things?
Yeah, there's definitely an inventory limit here. Let's see. Whoops. I forget because we're on PC controller. There we go. So there's definitely an inventory limit, much to the chagrin of our players who would love to play forever. But we do think there's some healthy tension there to have you go back and trade items in. We also want to encourage people to sell things. It's okay to sell some stuff and get gold for it. I know people like to keep anything and everything they find, but no, really, you don't need 1,000 pieces of wood.
What if you just let go of it?
Just let it go.